Hey, what's going on, guys? I have DJ Av of Trap Camp, and today we have something pretty sensational in front of us. So smash that like button. I'm just going to go ahead and play the audio sample now because this multi-band compressor, wow. So much stuff is going on in this beat, and the fact that I can actually hear and this is, just like I say a simple mix to a beat, and maybe some, just a little bit of leveling, but the quality of this multi-band compressor is sensational. And Softube Drawmer, the 1973, was be a emulation of the hardware piece. And man, I have no clue. I have not ever in my life encountered, no, I probably have encountered one, but yeah, this is very good. And let me kind of walk you through this because, multi-band compressors or whatnot are somewhat popular, but not extremely popular unless you're just kind of like using FL Studio. And you run into this thing right here, which is in the background. Maximus, and I'm gonna go ahead and unmute that. Unmute the effect. So this. Pardon me, guys. Is a multi-band compressor that is available to you depending on which version that you do get in FL Studio and whatnot. But this is a multi-band compressor that is third party, and it comes, you can use it on every platform available. Whew. And I tell you, well, I was massively impressed with Maximus and his overall sonic neutrality. But if by this audio example, do you hear that? You can hear the ever-going transients in the beat. You can hear practically everything that is going on from the hi-hats and all that. I mean, you search for it. Put on headphones like I do. I like to listen to them in monitors. I highly recommend that you do that. But you can hear the sheer goodness of what this multi-band compressor does, and it is sensational. And a lot of the features are arbitrary at this point, or no shake, but you have your input gain just in case you need to add a little bit more loudness for the compressor to read, and then you have output gain where you roll stuff off, and then you also can parallel compress. So that's on there. You can sidechain internally, sidechain externally. Then you have your old school VUs in front of you where you can, if we go ahead and take a look at it, read just like a VU, in which some of the readings will be a little late, just like it's natural, like the real thing. But as you can see, the transparent loudness of this mix isn't distorted to the distaste. It has very good loudness and clarity. On top of that, you have mid to side. You have stereo. So let's go and hear stereo real quick. Side. And side. Yeah, and and please forgive that I am do mind if you oversee. You see, I'm +6 over here, so I'm kind of using certain extreme settings that probably other music producers might not use. But in this modern age, this is a laugh. but you know, we'll read that anyways. So let's see. So we are dramatically reading at +6, and you know, which is quote unquote ideal clipping land, but obviously, you know, infinite headroom is what you have on, give or take, that you're kind of using your headroom in the correct way. You have a whole bunch, a lot more headroom than you would on a analog setup. And I've already talked about that, but yeah, you know, other features on here, obviously, because it's a multi-band compressor, you have every set that you would have on a regular compressor on each band. So you have your low band, your mid band, and your high band. And you can also sweep and judge how much of the low frequency you want over here, much like how you would over here, but minus the fact that you actually would have, you know, such visuals of a Maximus. But that's pretty much what these knobs do right here. You're moving how much of the frequency spectrum you want to capture in your compression that you're doing. So imaginable that you could actually have that kind of workflow anywhere minus the visual. So, you know, visually it could be a little better, you know, for people that aren't as in tune with their ears. But I highly recommend, if you have issues with, you know, finding frequencies, close your eyes, just listen, and you'll actually be surprised of how much you can hear by that. I messed up my settings. So there's more quirks that we could talk about, you know, and hopefully, and then you also can, yes, you can mute an actual band, and then you can compress, you can bypass. And by muting, I mean that you can actually turn that frequency off. Neato. It's one thing I did notice within doing that. It's not as extreme as Maximus's, and I'm not trying to make this a comparison video, but it works very well for the most part. And then there's big, where if you want to make your low band pass big. You kind of sacrifice some clarity, but you know, it is what it is there. You should know that. But yeah, this thing, it accomplishes a lot. And you know, last but not least, let's talk about the presets in here. If you're the type of guy that just, you know, not annoying about compression, which you can go to my playlist and you can learn about compression, especially, you know, just working from basics like Maximus as well. And other compressors. You can, there are some pretty good presets in here. Clarity 1. Let's see if I can access it from over here. Clarity 2. And then there is And you know, I was quite shocked of how effective presets are, and they're usually meant to give you a starting point to what you want, and then you just may either add or subtract whatever you like, or experiment whatever frequency bands to achieve what you would consider a polished sound and a nice way to set your compression. But everything is available in this, and it costs about $99, I believe, right now. And yeah, you should check it out. The link will be in the description box. And if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, please leave a comment. So, you know, just let me know what you think about this. I'm DJ Av. Deuces.